Hey everybody, so this is for the subscribers for a subscription box that received a resin. I wanted to show you guys how to light this. It was easier to do a video than to type it all out. So you see the little gold dish, and then we've got, I put a little bit of salt on the bottom just to give something underneath, making sure that of course it's on a heat safe platter, and I just put it on a Himalayan salt block. Then what you do is you put the charcoal on top of the grate and then you light the charcoal. Now I've already lit this one because they do take some time, but basically you just put a lighter or something up to it. It's gonna kind of start sparking. You're not gonna see a whole lot. So once you hear that spark go, just leave it sit. Like I can feel this right now. You can't see it, but I can feel it. It's actually giving off quite a bit of heat. So I'm gonna let this sit to get hot. You need the charcoal to be completely white. Once it is white, then it's good to go. So if you remember the old charcoal briquette barbecues, that's how you used to do it, right? You had to wait till it was white and then you knew it was at the right temperature. Once it's at the right temperature, then we've got our resin. Oops. And then I'm going to put not very many, just a small pinch on top of the charcoal, and it's going to smoke. So you can put as much on as you want, but just know that it's going to smoke until there's no resin left or until this thing cools down. And the charcoal takes a long time to cool down. So do this in a place where you know it's going to be okay for a few hours. If you want to extinguish it quicker, you're going to need to drop it into probably some cold water. Even then it's going to take a little bit to cool off. So you can notice how it's starting to get white on the edges. It's going to keep doing that until it's completely white. So I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back once it is all white and then we're ready to drop our resin on. So just thought I'd pop on here really quick and show you the progress and kind of where it's at. So you see all the edges are white. So we're getting close, and that wasn't very long, like, I don't know, maybe a minute or two at the most. So I'm just going to pause the video and come back again when it's all white. Hey, so it's fairly white now. I dropped one little nugget on there just to see how hot it was in the center, and it looks like it should be all right, because if you drop your resin too soon, you cool the block off and then it puts your charcoal out. So you want to make sure that charcoal is good and hot before you start dropping your resin on. So that was one little nugget. So it burnt out pretty quick. I'd say maybe 20-30 seconds, and it's still smoking. You see a little bit. So that was a lot of smoke just for one nugget. So I'm just going to drop and you gotta watch getting too close, because I can feel the heat. It's quite warm. So there I dropped in. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 little nuggets. And then you see that resin starting to melt, because resin is a tree sap, right? So it's getting hot. So you want to make sure you don't touch this or have this around any children or anyone that might want to pick it up. So now we got this wonderful smoke going. And one thing about resin, which a lot of people assume that you can only put resin on that, but you can do so many different things with the charcoal. You can dump your sage, you can dump herbs, and because it stays hot for so long. So I'm going to put a little bit of rose on there, mix it in with my resin. So getting that wonderful smoke coming out. So this is why a lot of Wicca or witchcraft will use a charcoal in their cauldron, because cauldron is the best one to handle the heat. Plus you can dump all your herbs and you can continue a ritual for a long period of time, because that charcoal will continue to ignite and continue to smoke. And I'm just going to pause here. I'm going to grab some sage and show you guys what happens when we drop some sage on there. Okay, so I've got a little bit of sage here. It's got a little bit of mix in there with some rosemary. So I'm just going to drop that all on there. So instead of having to worry about lighting your smudge constantly and going out, the charcoal is really great for that, but it is hot. So this isn't something you can necessarily carry around with you in a smudge bowl. It would be far too hot for that. Like my hand is probably about, I don't know, 4 inches or so, and I mean the heat that's coming off that's quite a bit. So just a real quick video to show you guys how to use the charcoal and the resin that came in your subscription box, and other uses you can use. So you can get charcoal. We have it at the store or anywhere else at your local metaphysical shop. We do have it on our web store as well. And the little brass holder will give you many, many uses. And you can use it for lots of different stuff, putting your incense and herbs and all that kind of fun stuff on there. So I hope you guys enjoy playing with resin if it's your first time. Have a great day, guys.